So, I'm not going to say they can't get 2, but it definitely seems unlikely, and Robbie Church definitely shows that he was waiting for that 2-goal lead to get some fresh legs, or to save some legs for the next round if Duke's able to move on. But yeah, huge goal. I mean, it can't be understated, the value of saving.
We've said that a couple of times. I hope this has been a wild game to call. It really has, and there've been, we've said that a couple of times. It can't be understated. It can't be overstated, and the dominance that Duke had shown in the first half, and then all credit to Illinois State, quite honestly, hanging around, not letting Duke get the second goal. And then the response by the Blue Devils, and now the third goal by Casey Martinez. Duke fans, Illinois State fans, Northwestern fans, now that they have advanced to the round of 16, Ohio State and West Virginia are headed to overtime in a 0-0 score. Of course, this section of the bracket would feed in to West Virginia as the top seed. So should they go down, one of the other teams would have an opportunity to perhaps host the Final 8. Still plenty of time to go in that one with overtime and, of course, penalty kicks. But things are getting really interesting in this corner of the draw with Notre Dame out and now possibly West Virginia in a little bit of trouble with Ohio State.
Well, I think Duke women's soccer fans will certainly have eyeballs on this West Virginia-Ohio State score now. That game, going into overtime, we've met anything can happen in overtime. And Ohio State has obviously played them tough all game, but certainly it's worth looking into now for Duke fans with a 2-goal lead here. West Virginia was a heck of a team when they came to Durham earlier this season and played. Scored some pretty unbelievable goals, had some great athletes.
Yeah, West Virginia, for those that aren't familiar, have about half a dozen Canadian players that are extraordinarily talented. The Mountaineers, a really strong side. Krisha Sikora chasing this one down.
Just offsides. I think that was the correct call. We were saying the last game that we called between Northwestern and Illinois Southern
Illinois University. It's a mouthful, no problem. I got your back.
That game kind of went according to script for how we kind of thought it might go out. Northwestern keeps a shutout, is able to create enough chances, and low scoring 1-0 win. But this one has certainly not been to any script that we foresaw for this game, and fireworks in both halves of this game, really.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. This was the result that, at least on paper, people might have thought they would have seen. Obviously, Duke is seated in this area of the bracket. Illinois State, the underdog coming in, but the way the game has played out has been anything but ordinary. And I just can't even imagine, and Jared, you've played at this level, the change in emotion in 5 minutes from, if you're Duke, giving up the tying goal, if you're Illinois State scoring the tying goal, and then what ensued. Walk me through what that's like. I mean, the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, depending on what vantage point you have. Maybe start with Illinois State. What are you feeling? Then what's Duke feeling? Because I can't imagine that there are any sort of larger swings than what we saw here in just a period of 5 to 6 minutes, really.
Yeah, you're digging up some deep emotions there. My college soccer career wasn't too long ago, so I still feel the pain of some of those emotional swings. But yeah, I mean, one goal changes kind of everything about your season, so it happens super quickly. I mean, Illinois State was going nuts when they scored that goal. I mean, their bench, the few fans they have here, it was a monumental change, and it was looking like maybe we can hold on for overtime, and then that evaporated quickly, and Duke went from extremely stressed and nervous to kind of cruising now in the span of like 5 minutes. It's a lot. I mean, this is when the loser's season is done. I mean, there's so much emotion, and every play is just heightened in terms of drama. And I think today you see a prime example of that.
Melinda Allen onto the ball. And she earns a throw-in for the Blue Devils. It was 4 minutes and 6 seconds. It went from 1-0 Duke to 3-1 Duke in 4:06. It was the tying goal from Cizik. Zeichert with the assist. Then it was the go-ahead goal by Payne. And then the
Golazo.
Yeah, then it was the insurance goal, I guess you could call it. Casey Martinez just placing that one perfectly.
Beautiful. On
the free kick. Nothing for Haley Smith to do. You know, I venture to say nothing for Haley Smith really to do on all three of the goals. One of them was, basically a breakaway. The other was a wide open shot for Tony Payne. And then the third, a direct kick that I don't know if too many goaltenders on earth that would have gotten a hand on that one.
No, the only thing she could do for the last two is decide to grow 6 inches taller, which
it's tough to do on demand.
That's asking a lot out of her.
Yep, I would say so. 9 saves for Smith. There's also a team save credited in there, so 10 total for Illinois State.
From the corner kick, probably.